Hi there, and welcome to class. Today I'm going to be practicing outside in this beautiful space. Hopefully there isn't too much background noise. I'll do my best to talk loudly. I'm going to be leading you through a heart opening practice today. So in yoga, it's believed that by opening the chest, you open the heart and align with Anahata, the heart chakra. And this is supposed to help with emotional balance and stability. Getting started, coming into a comfortable seated position, getting settled, and then when you're ready to do so, closing down the eyes. Just starting to get in touch with your breath, noticing the inhales and the exhales. Maybe starting to deepen your breath. Lengthening the inhales, lengthening the exhales. Pausing when you reach the top of the breath, and when you reach the end of the breath. Noticing how your body feels today. Maybe also noticing the emotional quality to your body. Just continuing to connect with your body and your breath for a couple more rounds. When you're ready, fluttering open the eyes, rolling over the tops of your knees, and getting ready for some cat-cows. So wrists line up underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, and on an inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart, and exhale to round the spine, tucking the chin towards your chest. Inhale to look up, expand the chest, and exhale to round everything in. Inhaling again, following your own breath, and exhaling. One more on your own. Coming back to a neutral spine. This time, raising your right arm off of the ground, so extending it long in front of you, and then finding your balance. You can tuck your toes if it helps. Raising your left leg out behind you. So using your core to balance yourself. And then if you can, bending that foot, reaching for it, and just gently opening the chest, pushing that foot into your hand as you give yourself a little stretch before releasing. So raising the left hand this time, and the right leg, finding your balance, steadying the core, and then when you're ready, bending the right foot, reaching behind you with the left hand, and pressing the foot into the hand. Just easing into that stretch and releasing. From here, take the knees wide, toes come together, sitting the hips back, and reach the arms out long in front of you. So allowing your forehead to find the mat if you can, pushing back on the heels. Taking a couple of breaths here. You can move the hips from side to side, easing in. On your next inhale, look up towards your hands. You're going to come up onto the knees and then walk your hands, bring your knees back under your hips, and then walk your hands out in front of you until your chest starts to melt towards the mat. So again, this is another chest opener, shoulder opener here. Just allowing your heart to melt towards the ground. So looking up, press strongly into the hands and bring your elbows flat onto the mat here. Take your legs out behind you, and you're going to come into a very gentle Sphinx pose. So tucking the tailbone, lengthening the bottom of that spine. If you feel any pain at all or crunching in your lower spine, then you can always bring your chest to the mat and your hands back underneath your shoulders. But for the moment, staying here if it feels comfortable. If you'd like to try and do more, you can tent the fingertips, bring them out a little bit wider, and straighten the arms. Again, just easing into your body, only going as far as feels comfortable. Okay, bringing your elbows underneath your shoulders, and finally your wrists underneath your shoulders. Tuck the toes, press up onto the knees, and then up into a downward facing dog. So finding the distance that's comfortable for you, and you can start to pedal your feet out here. One and then the other, just bringing one heel towards the mat while the other knee is bent, and then the other. Then bending both knees strongly, pressing into the hands. Finally, attempting to straighten the legs and allowing the heels to come towards the mat. On an inhale, sweep your right leg up overhead. Bend the knee to open the hip. And here you can just do a couple of circles with the foot, squaring off the hips, round the shoulders, knee to nose, and bring the right foot out underneath your left shoulder, sweeping the right arm up and over, coming into Wild Thing. And releasing the left hand back down, step back to Downward Facing Dog. Sweeping the left leg up and overhead now, opening the hip, bending the knee, circling the foot. Inhale to straighten. Exhale, bringing the knee to the nose and out to the right side. And then opening here, really guiding that chest towards the sky. And exhale, bring the palm back down. Come back to Downward Facing Dog. On an inhale, step your right foot up in between your hands. Ground the left foot so that it comes into a 45-degree angle, and sweeping the arms up and over, coming into Warrior Two. So bending the right knee, straightening the left leg, arms are at shoulder height, gazing over your fingertips. From here, straighten the right leg. You can keep the legs where they are, or if you like, you can walk the left heel in a little bit, and reaching forward with the right fingertips. Drop the hand either to the shin, to the mat. You can take a hold of your big toe if it's accessible. And this isn't something we always do in triangle, but bring your left hand down to the small of your back or to your sacrum. And from here, you can use that to kind of roll your chest through a little bit more. It gives you some leverage to open up. Keep breathing here, keeping a micro bend in the right knee, especially if you're hypermobile. And on your next inhale, coming back up and circling the hands down, step back to plank. This is your first one, so take an inhale here. On an exhale, drop the knees, bend the elbows in close, and lower all the way down. Inhale for Baby Cobra, knees up, and exhale, Downward Facing Dog. So from here, bringing your left foot up and step it between the hands. Ground the right foot down at 45 degrees and sweep the right arm up and over for a warrior two on the left side. So again, settling into it, looking down, making sure that you can see your left big toe, pressing strongly through the outside of the right foot, and gazes over the forward hand. Inhaling to straighten the leg, maybe shortening the stance a little bit, and exhaling to reach forward as far as you can before dropping the hand and gazing upwards if it feels okay on your neck. Taking that top hand now, placing it on the small of your back, and using that leverage to try and open up even more, rolling the bottom ribs towards the sky. On an inhale, coming all the way back up, and exhale, hands down to plank. So from here, you can either drop the knees or come down halfway for chaturanga. So take one more inhale, and then on the exhale, rolling forward, come halfway, inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Maybe we'll take one more little child's pose here for a bit of a rest. So knees out wide, toes together, sitting back on the heels, and just take a couple of breaths, allowing the forehead to melt towards the mat. On your next inhale, look up, and let's meet back in downward facing dog. Oh, hello, Eddie. You might see some cats wandering around. They might even want to join in a little bit. We'll have to see what happens. Maybe not. On an inhale, sweep your right leg up overhead, and exhale to step your right foot down between the hands. On your next inhale, preparing the core, come all the way up into a high lunge. Now bringing your hands into a cactus position, like a T, but with bent elbows. From here, we're just going to work on expanding the chest using the back muscles. So on your inhale, really push the heart through, bring the elbows down behind you, and on your exhale, round forward. So kind of like a cat-cow. Inhale, chest through, and exhale, rounding forward. Inhale, chest through, and exhale. This time, bring your hands to heart center. We're going to test your balance a little bit here. We're going to try and put all of our weight onto the front foot, and then pushing off of the left foot, raise that left knee up high. From here, bring your right arm up to the sky, drop the left arm with the palm facing out, and start to bring that left foot behind you. We'll come into dancer's pose. So kicking that foot into your hand, reaching forward, finding a steady spot to look at. Keep pushing the foot into the hand, finding equal and opposite reaction, pulling motions here. And inhale back up, and exhale, hands to heart center. So we'll take a little sun salutation to get back down. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale to fold forward. You can bend the knees as much as you need here. Inhale halfway, hands to shins, look up. And exhale, step or jump back to plank. Take an inhale here, and on an exhale, come halfway down or all the way. Inhale for upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. On an inhale, sweep the left leg up overhead. And exhale, step it through between the hands. Staying high on the ball of that back foot. Inhale to come up into a high lunge. So again from here, bringing the arms out wide. We'll just open the chest again on an inhale and exhale to round. Inhale to open and exhale to round. And then one more time, inhale to open, and exhale, hands to heart center. Steadying yourself here, finding a spot in front of you to help your balance, putting all of that weight into the front left foot, and pushing off the back, sweep that right knee up in front of you. This time dropping the right hand, palm facing out, left hand comes up, reaching for the foot on the inside of the foot. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, fold forward, really pressing that foot into the hand and reaching out long in front of you, finding somewhere to focus, breathing here, and exhale. Coming back up, and releasing the foot. So we'll just take a quick vinyasa to come back to seated. Inhale, sweep the arms up, palms touch. Exhale, fold forward, hands to the mat. Inhale, look up, flat back. Exhale, step, hop, and float back. And exhale, down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So from here, just look forward, and you can step up or just jump through to seated. We're actually going to swing the legs behind you and come up onto your knees. So we have one last heart opening pose. This is camel pose. So making sure that your knees are hip width below you, hips are in line with the knees. Bring your hands to heart center. So from here, you want to feel as if there's something pulling you from the crown of the head. You want to tuck your tailbone as much as possible. If you feel any pain in the lower back, don't do this, or don't proceed once you feel that, back off again. But if you'd like to try, from here, gently start to bring your gaze behind you, always moving from the upper part of the back. And when you can see behind you, you can drop the hands, finding the heels. So another way to do this is you can come up onto the balls of the toes and bring the heels closer to you. Breathing here, pressing the hips forward as much as possible. And when you're ready to come up, bringing one hand, the other, and slowly returning up. So now sitting down, swinging your legs out in front of you. Place the feet onto the mat. Bring your hands about a foot behind you. And on an inhale, press everything up. Reaching the hips up, coming into a reverse tabletop position. Taking one more breath here, allowing the head to fall back if it feels comfortable. Otherwise, you can look up if you don't want to crunch the neck at all. And sitting back down. And we're going to do one more like that, Purvottanasana, but with the feet extended long. So you can stay in that reverse tabletop position, or if you'd like to try something a little bit more advanced, you can reach the hands out behind you. And again, on an inhale, pressing everything up, reaching the toes towards the mat or the floor below you. And you should feel a nice extension through the upper arms. One more breath here. And exhale. Okay, so from here, just getting yourself moving the flesh out of the way, preparing for a forward fold, flexing the feet towards you, legs are long in front, feet together. Inhale, sweep the arms up, and exhale, reaching forward, grabbing wherever you can, whether it's the shins, the feet, the toes. Inhaling to lengthen the back and exhaling to fold forward. And we're going to take 5 breaths here. So really relaxing into it. On your next inhale, look up, and exhale to release. Bending the right leg, Bring the heel of the right foot in front of the right hip, leaving about a fist's width behind your heel and also between your left thigh and the foot here. You're going to take your right arm out behind you. Inhale to lengthen and grow tall. And as you exhale, you can bring your left elbow either to the right side of your leg, or you can hold on, whichever you feel more comfortable with. But you want to inhale to lengthen up through the crown of the head, and then exhale to twist, bringing your gaze over your shoulder behind you, lengthening with every inhale, and maybe twisting a little more on the exhale. Twisting again from the upper spine here. Making sure that left foot is active and flexed. And inhale, bring your gaze back to front. Unravel, extend the right leg, and bring the left heel up. So again, leaving a little bit of space between the heel and the back of your thigh, and also between your foot and the right thigh. So left arm behind you. Inhale to lengthen. Bring your right elbow across the knee, and exhale to twist. So trying to keep your shoulders down, keep that right foot active. With every inhale, growing taller. With every exhale, seeing if you can gaze a little further behind your shoulder. And inhale, bring the gaze forward, unhook the arm, extend the leg, and we are going to slowly, using your core, come all the way down. And we have one last pose here, which is just happy baby. So reaching for the outsides of your feet, bringing the heels over the knees. Just give your spine a little massage as you rock side to side. Try not to fall over. Taking another breath here. And when you're ready, coming into Shavasana, your final resting pose. So extending the legs out long, allowing the feet to flop open to the side, closing down the eyes. Palms are facing up, your arms are extended long behind you. You can adjust, bring the shoulder blades down, tucking the chin slightly, and just letting everything go. Letting go of the breath that you've been using through this practice. Feeling your heart melting into the mat beneath you after all of those opening poses. Just allowing all of the muscles in the body to relax. When you're ready, starting to bring some life into the body, wriggling the fingers and the toes. If you have room, maybe taking a long stretch through the body. Bringing the knees into the chest now. Rolling over to the right side. Keeping your eyes closed. Gently pressing yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Feeling the effects of the practice on your body here. On an inhale, sweep the arms up, palms touch, and bring them down to heart center, sealing in your practice. Thanking yourself for taking the time to open up your heart today. Namaste.